Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Troll.
(1974 to 1977). Welcome back, baseball fans, to 1974-77 Carryover League. We got our final series before the All-Star break, and we are in the National League North. We got in air quotes. Oh, definitely air quotes. Not that means not real, kind of fake, kind of, you know, like maybe. We got the best team in the league. Nope. The Cincinnati Reds. Nope. The Big Red Machine, the best team of the 1970s. Nope. In their heyday with the 75 and 76 players. Nope. Yep. Whatever. Against the lowly Chicago Cubs. Except the thing is, the Cubs are in first place and the Reds are in third place and might not make the playoffs. But besides that, let's show you what's happened. Game 1, opening up in Chicago. You got Ray Burris, a journeyman, against Fred Norman, a left-hander. Let's see. Morgan walks, steals a base. Griffey triples him in. Foster doubles in Griffey, 2-0. Let's see, what else did the Reds do? It's 2-1 after a sac fly by the Cubs, and the Reds get a single, 3-run homer Tony Perez, 5-1. Cubs get RBI single, 5-2. 7th inning, Morgan singles, steals a base. Rose walks. Griffey singles him in, steals a base, scores on a bench, sac fly. This thing's over. 7-2, Reds win the game? No. No. No, they can't. Can't win the game. They blow the 7-2 lead because they can't pitch. They can't field. They can't do the stuff that they should be doing in the 1970s. Going to and winning back-to-back World Series. Let's see. Norman in the 7th inning, which is his point of weakness inning, gives up a single walk. That's point of weakness. So they bring in Bourbon. Gives up a 2-run single. Fielder's choice. Another single. Double. Another single off the defense. 8th inning, walk single. Double. Error on Bourbon. A strikeout. Cubs win 9-7. Bruce Sutter gets the save. Peter Bourbon in relief of Fred Norman. They were both terrible, actually. Bourbon, 2 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned. Cubs, 9 runs on 17 hits, 5 walks, 5 Ks. At this point, they increase their lead to 4.5 games over the Big Red Machine. Okay. Game 2 in Cubland. Don Gullett versus Rick Russell. Reds, Rose walks, Griffey singles, bench walks, Foster singles him in. Geronimo, 2-run single, 3-0 Reds. 3rd inning, George Foster, 2-run homer, 5-0 Reds. They're about to win. No. Can't pitch, can't field, can't do the things they did in the 1970s when they won those World Series. Madlock homer, and then you get walk, fly out, single, double, strikeout. 3-run homer, Jose Cardinal, walk, double. Then you get a homer by Andre Thornton. This thing's over. Cubs win 10-5. Let's move on. Because this is a fantasy baseball league, it's apparently, where the Reds just don't win baseball anymore. Game number 3 in Cincinnati. Hold on. Things are going to change. Game number 3. On the road. Cubs going to Cincinnati. Up. What is it now? 5.5 games. A couple games behind the best record in the National League. The Reds are 4 games under 500 at this point. And the Cubs start to let this thing slip away. 3rd inning, 3 singles. Their lead 1-0. 4th inning, 2-base error on George Foster, sac fly. Cubs up 2-0. 5th inning, you get a double by Kessinger, RBI single, Jose Cardinal, 3-0. They are mocking the Reds. You done it now. At some point, the Reds were going to wake up this year. Now it's... I mean, the snooze alarm is melted by this point. I mean, they've had plenty of opportunities to wake up this year. In the 5th inning of Game 3, the Reds have started to wake up. Geronimo singles, Perez singles, Barton singles, Concepcion singles, RBI ground out Morgan, Errol and Andre Thornton, Griffey singles, sac fly bench. That's 5 runs. It's 5-3. Perez homer, 6-3. In the late innings now, Gary Nolan is only a starter 6. In the 7th inning, the first 2 batters reached against him, and the panic alarm went off because it meant that the Reds would have to go to their bullpen again. Pedro Bourboin has been actually pathetic, and Clay Carroll has been horrendous. So they went to Dave Tomlin, and what do you know, he gets a double play, a strikeout, and a 3-up and 3-down 8th inning. They turn it over to Raleigh Eastwick in the 9th inning. The Reds win 7-3. The Reds are going to play with a 6-man pitching staff the rest of the year. They got 1 lineup, a 6-man pitching staff, no bench, and they are just going to put the thing into full throttle and don't worry about the oil. You're not going to check the oil. You're not going to check the brakes, the transmission fluid. You're just going to jam this machine in as hard as you possibly can. Game number 4. Cubs get a run in the first on a double play ground out. But the Reds get going immediately. Joe Morgan singles, steals a base. By the way, when they talk about having a red light or green light at first base, there's no light for the Reds. They steal all the time. 100% of the time, they're going to steal. Morgan singles, steals a base. Rose singles him in. Geronimo Griffey singles. Bench doubles. Foster singles. Geronimo doubles. Number 9 hitter Dave Concepcion, 2-run single, but then he gets thrown out stealing to end the inning. But they still get their 6 runs. 2nd inning, Morgan walks, steals a base. Griffey walks, and then a 3-run homer George Foster. It's 9-1. 11-3 final. Let's move on because the Reds are just greasing. They're just getting started now. They are just closed door, no media. We're just going to grind you into bits until the season's over one way or another. Game 5, Rick Russell, nope, against Don Gullett. Gullett, 1-hitter. 5-0 Reds win. Don Gullett, who got lit up for 8 runs in 4 innings the last time out. 1-hitter. 1-hit shutout for Don Gullett. 2 walks, 5 Ks. And the Reds have just beaten the crap out of the Cubs 3 games in a row. So what's it mean? Well, it means the Reds are still in 3rd place. Not much has really changed, frankly, other than they're finally starting to play well. Hello, Reds! You're 15-16, but they're still in this thing. They're still in it, folks. Don't write the Reds off now, particularly now that they're clicking on all cylinders. Boy, are they ever. The machine is rocking and rolling, but the question is, they're 15-16 at this point. Pirates are enjoying this. They're tied for the Cubs for first. But the thing is, you know, the Reds are still just 2.5 out of the division lead. Wild card, you got the Mets are 3 over 500. That's not that great. On the other side of the bracket down here, there's nothing going on out west or in this division. Forget it. Just close those down. So it really comes down to Mets and either the Pirates, Cubs, and Reds. Like you'll have a division winner and maybe 2 wild cards here if the Mets crumble, or a division winner and a wild card. So it looks like we got 7 teams in the National League, and I'm making the Reds one of those, which is... What is it, folks? I'm just saying it because of Major League Baseball history. The Reds are supposed to be there, even though they're a game under 500. Do they have the 7th best record in the National League? Let's go check it out. Well, they do. So there you are. And the Cardinals have faded, of course, because that's what they do. They lost 4 out of 6 to the Pirates, who are really enjoying this, by the way. The Pirates, who pushed their chips in the table, then they lost 2 straight to the Red Sox, who pushed their chips into the table. And the Red Sox are fading horribly. Don't know what to make of any of it, really, folks. You want a National League narrative? The Dodgers have been incredible all year. The Phillies are on a hot streak. The Mets are starting to fade. The Cubs are the Cubs. The Pirate bullpen is shaky. And the Reds are the best team in the National League with the 7th best record. And that's your summary. Game 6 from Cubland. It'll be Freddie Norman. Freddie. You know Freddie. Freddie Norman. 1974, he won 13 games for the Reds in 186 innings with a 3.15 ERA. And for your Cubs, making his first start of the series, they skipped him because he's the number 4 starter earlier and he was struggling. Steve Ranko will pitch for the Cubs today. He won 12 games in 74 with a 4.03 ERA on 228 innings. I'd like to see a road win, frankly. If you don't get a road win, which these guys didn't do and which these guys didn't do, I really don't have much stock in either one of these teams. So get a road win, Reds, and win the series to get to 500, Reds, and then make your noise in the postseason tournament. And then all you got to do is make the playoffs and run the table. Like one of those NFL wildcard teams that wins the Super Bowl. That's all you got to do. It's not that hard. And you're red hot. No pun intended. And this lineup is cranking. So let's see if they crank today for you folks. Leading off for the Big Red Machine is Joe Morgan. 1-6, let's get it out of the way. Let's take a look at the Joe Morgan card. Joe Morgan was hitting .214 after Game 2 of this series. He's then continued to get on base the next 3 days. He's hitting .214 and Pete Rose is hitting .270, which is a big part of the team's problems. But Morgan's 75 card is a .327 average with 17 homers and 132 walks. 1-6 is triple 1-7. He'll take a 3-base hit. Pete Rose, 1-5. You walked him. On the corners for Ken Griffey. 1-7. Here we go. Double 1-4. There's a double. Like I said, folks. Second and third. Bench, 56. Zach Klein. There's 2. Runner at second, 1 out, Foster. 1-6, let's take a look at it. I think we're on to something, folks. I think the wake-up call has gone off. 1977 Foster, yep, the MVP with 52 home runs. One of four MVPs on the Big Red Machine. 52 home runs in 77 with a .320 average. That is gone. It's 4-0. Geronimo, 49, single 1-7. He cannot get it. And Tony Perez, 3-7's a walk. And Dave Collins, 67 is a K. Bottom of the first, it's Jose Cardinal. 6'10", third X. Rose a 3-13 at third base. And can't make the play there, Pete. We know Bench and Morgan and Concepcion and Geronimo straight up the middle are the studs, the greatest middle defense in sports history, or baseball history. On the corners, Rose, Perez, Griffey, Foster. That's below average, folks. It's below average, like their pitching staff. So it's simply a single for Cardinal. Dave Rader, 1-3 is a 6-4-3 double play. And Bill Madlock, 1-8. Is double 1 base hit. And number 4 hitter against lefties is Steve Bry with plenty of power. 3-6. Let's take a look at the Steve Bry card. Here's a nice little player. He's had a lot of homes in our Carryover League. He played for the Twins. We've had him on the White Sox for a minute. We've had him on the Twins for a minute. He got traded to the Cubs for a minute. Known as a decent defender. Doesn't make a lot of errors. Average arm. This particular year, he's got a lot of home runs. They're against lefties, so he starts against lefties as a cleanup hitter with a .252 average, 9 homers, and 246 at-bats. 3-6 is double 1-14. He gets it. However, Madlock has to stop at third. Call it a ground roll double. And with 2 outs, it's Billy Williams. 1-8, let's take a look at the Billy Williams card. Oh, I think the wind's blowing out of Wrigley, folks. The great Billy Williams You've been following the channel. This 74 card, we used it in spring training. It has been rolling since the winter time. A 280 average, 16 home runs. Let's call this the last good Billy Williams card. 1-8, homer 1-7, misses it, catches the double, and it is 4-2. Runner at second for Andre Thornton. 58 is a strikeout. Well, there are some fireworks. 4-2. Let's go to the second inning now. Dave Concepcion, 67 is a K. Joe Morgan, 1-4, misses the column and flies to right. And Rose, by any other name, he also flies to right. Walt Williams, 1-3, pops short. Manny Trio, 49, second X. Morgan's a 1-13, and he makes the play. Don Kessinger, 212, short, A+ an injury. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy. Manny Trio will have to take over at shortstop, and they'll have to put Jack Dead Blowhammer at second base as Kessinger gets hurt. It's a 2 shortstop. That's really gonna hurt the Cubs. We go to the third. It's Ken Griffey. 2-6, that's single. He's gonna steal, and he's safe on a 2, and the T rating is successful. He's at third base. Johnny Bench. 111 short A, that'll score the run. It's 5-2. Foster, 65, walks. Geronimo, 3-4, pitcher A. 1-6-3 double play. All right, 5-2. It's Cardinal, 67's a K. Dave Rader, 2-5, single one line out. And with 2 outs, Madlock, 33, pops short. We go to the fourth. It's Talkin' Tony Perez, 56, flies left. Dave Collins, 35, or excuse me. Yeah, Dave Collins, 35. Is a walk. He's going to steal. Yeah, they all steal. Concepcion, they've been thrown out a lot as well, but they don't care anymore at this point in the season. Dave Concepcion, 47 is a walk. 2 on, 1 out for Joe Morgan. 46, second X, but this is Brohammer because of that injury. He's a 4-12 second baseman. It is single ... and the Reds are rolling again. Pete Rose, runners on the corners, 1 out. 38, that's single ... It is 7-2. First and second for Griffey. 65, he Ks. And with 2 outs, now it's Johnny Bench. 66, he also Ks. 7 runs for the Reds. Are they going to win? I don't know. They've lost 7-2 games before in this series. Last time they were at Wrigley Field, they were up 7-2 and couldn't win. They could have won 5-6. But anyway, Steve Bry leads off. 56, double 1-10's a double. Billy Williams, 67 is a K. Andre Thornton, 45, left. And Walt Williams, 58, another K. We go to the fifth. 7-2 game. Need more Reds. Just keep pumping them up there. Just keep until the scorched earth Reds. Double digits, crooked numbers. You got a lot of catching up to do to get your reputation back. George Foster, 67 is a K. Geronimo, 45, second. And Tony Perez, 42, rolls first. 7-2, bottom of the fifth. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
All right. There are parallels to the 1977 season for the Chicago Cubs, who blasted out to a 47-22 start, looking like the Hack Wilson Cubs, and then played 25 games under 500 the rest of the year to finish 500. The thing is, though, it really is not a good comparison. And why is that? We only have 2 players from the 77 roster here. We got the 77 Russell card and the Suter card. Now, that's your ace and your closer. But still, you know, the rest of the roster, and again, 40% of the roster is players from 1974. So that argument should be dismissed. The Cubs' success prior to this series was based on playing a last-place schedule. Not to mention they beat up on the lowly Cardinals and the Toronto Blue Jays in the American League Interleague battle. So the jury is still out on the Cubs. We have no idea. And they won the first 2 games, coming back from 7-2 and 5-1 deficits. But, you know, they've just dropped 3 straight, and they weren't close, and they're down 7-2 right now. This might be. We might actually be looking at what we're looking at. This might be reality, folks. The Reds 7-2 over the Cubs. This is what really probably should be happening. Finally, and you get to see it. Manny Trio. 3-7's a single. Do they have another comeback in them? B. Steeler. Broham hit and run down 5. Moves the runner up. Well, that's mostly because he can't hit lefties. And he's only in there because of the injury. Runner at second for Jose Cardinal. 1-8. Center. And Dave Rader, 55. Double 1 to 11. It's an RBI single. Cubs 7-3. See that? Madlock, 49. Second X. Morgan's a 1E13 at second base. Makes the play. All right, 7-3. They're within a granny. Renko in the 6th. It'll be Dave Collins. 47, there's a walk. He's going to steal a base. He's out on a 20. Concepcion. 3-7 single. He's going to steal a base. He's safe. Joe Morgan. 68. Double 1 to 2. Base hit. That'll score the run. He's going to steal a base. He's safe. You know, you wonder, when you amp it up like this, like I said, you don't put oil in the crankcase. You don't check the tires for bulges, you know. You don't add water to the radiator, you know. And yeah, you might come back. When do you start to cool it back down and, you know, play more sound baseball or whatever? Because the thing is, I haven't really been crazy about stealing bases because you're giving the Cubs an opportunity to give you an out by getting caught stealing. Where if I'm the Reds, I would just want to turn the cards over and make them get you out 27 times. Why attempt a stolen base? That's an easy way of getting out. I'd rather have these batting averages and walks and everything else just run you off the diamond. But this is what has got them cooking. And while it's working, we're just going to keep rolling with it. So with 1 out, 1 run in, runner at second, it's Pete Rose. 1-7, flies to right. And with 2 outs, Griffey. Let's take a look at the card, because this guy's red hot now as well. They're all hot now. Let's face it. They've all heated up at the same time, and that's good news for them. Bad for the rest of baseball. 1976 Ken Griffey. He hits .336. It's obscene to have Griffey hit .336 and George Foster on the same team with Morgan, Rose, Bench, and Perez, and you know, in their best cards. What I'm saying is that this particular roster is better than any roster the actual Big Red Machine produced in the 1970s, because we've cherry-picked the best years for the Red players all at once. You can't get any better. Morgan, you can get him in a 76 card. Rose isn't going to get any better. Griffey's not getting any better. Bench isn't. Foster isn't. Geronimo, you could get him in a 76 card. Perez isn't getting any better. Concepcion, you can get him hitting .301 in 1981, but his defense is bad. You can't get this team any better than they are. So, 1-7, double 1 to 4, that's an RBI single. It's 9-3. He's going to steal a base. He's safe. T rating, he goes to third. The Cubs, you are a speed bump. And frankly, the Reds have no brakes. Johnny Bench, 44, catcher's X. 3-7, fastball, innings over. Okay. 9-3, we'll get you out of here fast, folks. Steve Bry. I know you guys have a lot to do, 4th of July weekend and all that or whatever. Billy Williams, 1-7 Ks. Andre Thornton, 411, right X. 3-7 makes the play. This has got to be pretty hard for the Cubs fans to take. But you know what? You won the first 2 games and came back to do it. It'd be a lot worse if you drop 4 straight to them, you know? Steve Ranko, why don't you take the afternoon off, buddy? Have a nice day. A little 9-burger in 6 innings. You know, you can. And then we'll go to Ken Frailing in the 7th inning. Ken pitched for the Cubs in 1974, 125 innings, had a 389 earned run average. We feel that Frailing is better in the bullpen as a lefty than as a starter. Here's George Foster. 310, flies left. Geronimo, 66 Ks. Tony Perez, 610 Ks. Stretch time here in Cubland, Chicago. We are listening to the complete mythology of Sale Johnson, the legend, the absolute legend. We got this many disc set, the complete set. 73 songs, about 3 hours of Sill. But frankly, folks, you got to get into the 3rd disc. This one. I mean, the first 2 discs are good, but the 3rd disc, it's on a different level here. And frankly, this is the best thing going on in Chicago at the present time, because the baseball team is doing what the baseball team did. Fred Norman. Last time, with a 7-2 lead, he hit his point of weakness in the 7th inning. I'm at the point where I'm thinking that he's just going to finish the 7th inning regardless of whatever happens. So he's got 6 potential runs to burn here, Fred. We don't want you to come out of the game, because we're petrified of using Pedro Bourboin or Clay Carroll unless it's mop-up duty. If we can get to the 8th inning, we'll go to Tomlin and Eastwick, who we trust. All right. And it's Walt Williams leading off. 33 pops out. Manny Trio. 2-4 flies to center. And with 2 outs, Jack Deadblow Hammer. 1-6 pops out to second base. Freddie Norman. All right. Sorry, Cubs. Great stuff, Still Johnson there, though. We got something. So Gullett and Norman got obliterated the first time around. Gullett just threw a 1-hitter, and Freddie Norman struggled in the first. Hit a run there. Overall, heck of a start through 7 frames in a 9-3 game. Leading off in the 8th, Dave Collins. 49, homer 1-3, fly ball. Homer 1-3, he gets a single. He doesn't have power. He's going to steal, and he's out stealing. That's 2. What are we today? We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're 5 for 7. 71%. That's pretty good, because all these stealing chances are at least anywhere between, well, Morgan's a AA, anywhere between 60 to 75%. So we're right in the sweet spot, stealing bases today. Dave Collins. No, excuse me, not Dave Collins. Dave Concepcion. 2-5, grounds are short. With 2 outs, back up top to Joe Morgan. 3-2, rolls short. Bottom of the 8th, Freddie will continue. Jose Cardinal. 4-12, center. Dave Rader, 49, walks. Madlock, 56, here we go. Double 1 and 10's a double. One more batter will do it. Steve Bry. 1-7 is a K, and with 2 outs. Can you get Billy Williams out? You couldn't get him out in the first. 3-10, you walked him. And we got to go to the bullpen. A 4-out, it's not going to be a save. You're up by 6. We're going to go with a 4-out save route for Raleigh Eastwick will come on in the 8th inning. He has been, without a doubt, the best pitcher the Reds have in the bullpen. That probably continues to what happened in 76, because Eastwick in 76 was brilliant. A 2.08 ERA in 108 innings, a big reason why the Reds made quick work of the National League and the Yankees in the World Series. They had a great closer, and this particular year for Eastwick was probably the best year of any Red reliever in the entire decade, even though they had a lot. Sparky loved to go to that bullpen, but collectively, I mean, they didn't have a Gossage or a Suter or a Fingers or a Mike Marshall or Dale Murray, any of those guys. Tom Hall was pretty good in 72. Clay Carroll was also pretty good in 72. He got MVP votes, actually. Gave up a lot of singles, though. Eastwick will come on in the 8th inning, and he will face Andre Thornton. And you could argue it's the biggest moment in the Red season at this point. Got to get this guy out. Can't allow a grand slam here. Make it 9-7. Here's the pitch. 67. He strikes him out, and the inning is over. All right. Well, 9th inning. No, you know what? The Cubs aren't going to die. They gotta go put Suter out there just to get the fans excited. So Bruce Suter will come in. I mentioned that if the Cubs were in any game close, Suter was going to make an appearance. We were going to wear Suter out. And he has been worn out, frankly. He's pitched a lot of innings because the Cubs have been playing very good. But he arguably shouldn't be pitching today, but because they are about to drop 4 straight, they want to get him in there so he doesn't get rusty. Bruce Suter, 77, 135 ERA, 107 innings. I don't know where he ranks in the closers who are in the league presently. I think he's the best. I'd probably go him, Gossage, and Murray, then Marshall, and then Fingers. Funny thing is, Al Hrabowski should be on that list, but he has been absolutely horrendous this year. Al Hrabowski's ERA for the Cardinals, do you want to know what that is? Because I remembered it. 11.25. Yeah, that's not going to get you in the Hall of Fame there. So that's what his ERA is for the Cardinals, Al Hrabowski. So Suter comes on in the 9th inning. He will face Pete Rose. 3/8 single. Ken Griffey, 69 Ks. Bench, 4-7 Ks. And Foster, 55 Ks. Bottom of the 9th, Eastwick, I need 3 outs. I can do other things. I can get on with the rest of my afternoon. Walt Williams, 2-7 Ks. Manny Trio, 4-11 left X. Geronimo Foster, he can't field. It's a base hit. Jack Deadblow Hammer, 4-11 first C. Runner, second 2 outs. Jose Cardinal, 2-6 is single. On the corners, he'll go down to second. Catcher's indifferent. Second, third, 2 outs. Dave Rader. 3-11, you walked him. Bases loaded. Eastwick's broken. I don't care. Madlock, 1-2. Lomax to end the game. Just a simple line out. Eastwick decided to make it interesting. You got the Lomax off the Madlock card to end the thing. Not pretty, but the offense, oh boy. Oh, the Reds have significantly improved their numbers right before the All-Star game. And on a 4-game winning streak, Cincinnati Reds dust the Cubs 4-2 when they absolutely, positively had to rip off 4 straight wins. There was no other option in sight. Even winning 4-3, or even losing the series, would have been. And again, they are definitely not in the clear for making the playoffs. They still got a lot of work to do. Let's take a look at the box stats. We'll take you right to the break, folks. Suter gave up a single and 3 Ks in the 9th. Frailing, let's give him a hit and a couple Ks. Steve Franco was in the way. 9 hits, 9 runs, 4, 5, 6, 7 are earned. Yeah, a couple wild pitches and errors there. 6 walks, 5 strikeouts. Eastwick, I can't give you a save for that mess. We got 2 hits, walk and a K. And Fred Norman, give yourself a W there, Fred. 8 hits, 3 runs. Good enough if you're a Cincinnati starter when they're clicking. 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. 1009, 0109, 911, 310, 610, 383, 610. I'm telling you, folks, the game is better when the Reds are clicking. And if you hate the Reds, or if you think I'm a big Reds fan, I like all these teams. I'm just saying the sport is much better to play when you can weaponize the big red machine. And frankly, the same can be said about the Yankees. When the Yankees aren't any good, it's a little disappointing. Same with the Oakland A's. Of course, the Oakland A's are playing good baseball now. Let's take a look at the present standings, because these are now up to date. Speaking of that, let's go through the 1970s for the moment. So the Oakland A's, in their dynasty attempt, they have actually played pretty good baseball down the stretch, and there they are, just a half game behind the Angels, who are the Cinderella darlings of the American League. But yeah, you can't blame the A's. They're doing what they should be doing. So I can't say they've regressed or anything like that. And it's the last year in the dynasty window for them. Okay. Now, the Reds are in the middle part of the decade. And Pirates are in first. I got to do a sort here real quick. The Pirates were beating the Cardinals, and the Cubs lost to the Reds. So the Pirates, who previously were scuffling, are scuffling no longer, which is a nice thing for them, I suppose. They have a tiebreaker over the Reds. So this division is still up for grabs. Cardinals are probably out of it. Reds just 2 back. Pirates just 4 over 500. They beat the Cardinals head-to-head. They beat the Reds head-to-head. They lost to the Cubs in 7, I believe. And we just saw the Reds beat the Cubs. Cardinals beat the Reds. So it's like anybody can beat anybody, it would seem. You see the Pirates and Reds are on 4-game winning streaks. So 2 games in your division? Sure. Still got the postseason tournament to figure this all out. They got to 500. They want to be better than that. And of course, again, the last... the 75 Red Sox, it's not happening. They got one more try at it next year. And the Yankees, they're not going to get Reggie anytime soon in New York, because Oakland's going to bring Reggie back next year in the 75 card, and then the Orioles will get him in 76. The Orioles are saying, nah, he ain't going to New York. We're taking that 76 Reggie card. We ain't going to let the Yankees have him that easily. It's bad enough they're going to lose guys like Bobby Grich and Wayne Garland and everybody else, So yeah, wild card. I guess the Cubs have. Oh, the Cubs and Mets both have identical records, and the Reds are a game and a half behind them in the wild card. Yeah, Reds are in a good spot because they're hot. Now, more importantly, the stats. Let's see if we can glean anything from this. Have the Cubs just really gotten lucky? Let's look at run differential immediately. The Cubs have scored 139 runs and given up 144. Yep. That's negative runs, and they're 3 over 500. Big Red Machine, 169 runs, given up 155. Shows they've been a little bit unlucky. They probably should be a couple games over 500, but still not incredible. Team-by-team comparison, the Cubs are hitting 287 and the Reds 281. So if you're wondering, yeah, the Cubs were around 290 and the Reds are around 270, and they kind of came down to each other. And the ERAs are alarmingly now. The Cubs are up to 428. They were below 4 for the longest time. And the Reds have sneaked down to a 4.16 ERA, which is excellent. Thank Don Gullett for that shutout. Let's start with the Cubs, since they do have a better record. Suter's got 9 saves. No losses, no blown saves either. He saved 9 of the 16 wins. Russell is 7-2. very good. 24 runs in 66 innings. Rao, the lefty, 5-3. Rest of the staff, not so much. Homer department. You got Madlock with 5 homers and 21 RBIs in 29 games. 4 homers by Billy Williams, Andre Thornton. Yeah, Madlock is having a MVP kind of year. If the Cubs can... Bill Madlock's hit 378, so he's on the MVP list if they win the division and make some noise in the playoffs. Because he's the best player on a team that shouldn't be in the playoffs, is what we can say. Now the Reds, just at 500, disappointing of course. Eastwick has been fine. 2-0, 3 saves, hasn't blown any. 2 runs allowed in 14 1/3 innings. However, Bourbon and Carroll are 0-3. They've given up 28. They've given them 18 runs in 33 innings. It's not that good. Billingham's ERA is around 4.5. Norman's is 4.5. Gary Nolan's been pretty good. 19 runs in 67 innings. 255. But here's the catch. Gullen improved to 3-5. But believe it or not, after throwing a 1-hit shutout, his ERA was 6.55. It lowered it to 5.64. So he shaved almost an entire run off his bloated earned run average. George Foster's playing at MVP form. Good for him. 12 homers and 36 RBIs in 32 games. He's 43 for 139. Hitting 309. But most important part of this team is Joe Morgan and Pete Rose. Morgan is up to 28 for 118. Baby steps. He's up to 237. That's good. Well, he was hitting 214. So he increased his average 23 points in that series against the Cubs. Pete Rose is 38 for 139. He's up to 273. Obviously, you can see why this team is struggling. Right there, Rose and Morgan. And you have to consider that 40% of the Red roster would be from the 1974 season. But it's not the key players. The 74 cards, I think we can look at them over here easier. To find that out, actually. Alright, Bob Barton's a backup player. Geronimo, that's a good 74 card for Geronimo. He's a slightly better in 76. Alright. Tony Perez, 74 is going to be the last good year in Cincinnati. He's still decent after that, but he's declining. Eventually gets traded to the Expos. Gullett's last good year is 74. Well, 75, he's got a good year for the Reds, but he can't pitch on 3 days rest. Fred Norman, 74, probably the last good year for the Reds. Billingham won 19 games in 74. Bourbon and Carroll in 74. You see the problem is the pitching staff. They've got 5 players from 74 comprise the pitching staff for the Reds. And you got to remember, 74 was the bad year. That's the year the Dodgers won the West. So that, I think, has a lot to do with it. But frankly, seeing the ERA down to 4.16 is really good. Remember, this division has such great offense that it's almost impossible to have a sub-4 earned run average. Cubs are 4.28. What about the Pirates and Cardinals? Pirates are worse. Pirates got a 4.36 ERA. And the Cardinals? Cardinals are the best ERA in the division, but they've only scored 109 runs, given up 109 runs. That's because they don't have a lot of power. The league is hitting 274, and the league ERA is 4.02. So that indicates, that this division is power laden, to be surmised. But that's it. Break up the Cincinnati Reds. They woke up. They ripped off 4 straight wins after 2 losses. Win the series 4-2. How about that? Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time.